So we today, in fact, try to read what we have and continue the play. Today we will start with a new act, that is Act 2 of the play Arms and the Man, written by George Bernard Shaw. So I want you, in fact, to listen to the dialogue. It begins. Of English, College of Education for Humanities, University of Basra, Iraq. Act 2. The 6th of March, 1886, in the garden of Major Petkoff's house. It is a fine spring morning, and the garden looks fresh and pretty. Beyond the paling, the tops of a couple of minarets can be seen, showing that there is a valley there with a little town in it. A few miles further, the Balkan Mountains rise and shut in the view. Within the garden, the side of the house is seen on the right, with a garden door reached by a little flight of steps. On the left, the stable yard with its gateway encroaches on the garden. There are food. You see here, in fact, at the beginning, what do we have? We have a general description of the setting. That is the time and the place of the occurrences or the events of the coming scene. We see that now we are at the 6th of March, 1886, and there is garden, and now we are, you see, immediately in the house. We are in the garden of Major Petkoff's house. In scene 1, in Act 1, we were, in fact, in the balcony related to Raina, and then we see Raina in her bedroom. There is a movement in Act 2. In Act 2, now we are in the house, and also there is something, in fact, is very important for us to be considered. That is the events between Act 2 and Act 1. In fact, the events doesn't come immediately. No, there is a span of time. There is a span of time. That is, there's a period of time, you see, longing for many say months. So now we are in the 6th of March, you see, and now we are in the spring, not in the winter, you see. So the garden, and it is fine spring, while in Act 1 we were in the winter and we were at night. Now here in Act 2 there is a movement and there is a progress. It is morning and it is spring. What else? There is paling. We see a paling of the tops of a couple of minarets. A paling, that is the fences, you see, and there are minarets. That is the town. The town can be seen. The town can be seen far away from this place. And there are Balkan Mountains, you see. That is everything is detailed for us. Why? Because we have naturalism. So George Bernard Shaw, in fact, is concerned about providing us with details concerning the scenes, concerning the movement of the characters, concerning the costumes of the characters. You see? So everything is detailed for the audiences. The audiences should imagine everything you see here in Act 2. That is the costumes, the buildings, the scenery, the time, the action, the movement of the actors, and even the feelings, by the way. I mean, if there is a character who is angry or who is sad, we are told by the dramatist that this actor or this character is sad, you see? So everything is detailed. I mean, the character is not left for his talent to do what he likes. No, everything here in this play is detailed for us by the dramatist. So let us go on.
Bushes along the paling and house, covered with washing hung out to dry. A path runs by the house and rises by 2 steps at the corner where it turns out of the ride along the front. In the middle, a small table with 2 bent wood chairs at it is laid for breakfast with Turkish coffee pot, cups, rods, etc. But the cups have been used and the bread broken. There is a wooden garden seat against the wall on the left. Louka, smoking a cigarette, is standing between the table and the house, turning her back with angry disdain on a manservant who is lecturing her. He is a middle-aged man of cool temperament and low but clear and keen intelligence, with the complacency of the servant who values himself on his rank in civility.
You see, pay attention here. In Act 1, we see Raina in her bedroom. Now, in Act 2, we see Louka, in fact, begins the act. And Louka seems to be sad, she seems to be angry. You see, why? Because there is another servant, a manservant, who lectures her, who advises her how to behave herself. We see Louka, in fact, in Act 1, impolite. She behaves like a lady of the house. She orders Raina, you see, and she is a servant. Louka is a servant, you see, but she orders Raina, you see, to behave, to obey her orders. Now Nicola, who is a manservant, you see, here warned Louka not to be impolite with the members of the family. So this is, in fact, a new development in Act 2. There is a progress in the action, and also we see the intervention of another character who is Nicola. You see, later we will see that there is a relationship connecting these 2 characters. Louka and Nicola, in fact, are engaged, and Nicola is going to get married to Louka, you see, in coming days. So he is now in a position to advise Louka not to defy the members of the family. Otherwise, he says that I never can marry you. I never can marry you. He says that. You see, if you quarrel with the family, I never can marry you. It is the same as if you quarreled with me, you see. So he says that. I want you to be disrespectful. Pay attention to this. I don't want you to be disrespectful to any one of them.
And the imperturbability of the accurate calculator who has no illusions. He wears a white Bulgarian costume jacket with decorated border, sash, wide knickerbockers, and decorated gaiters. His head is shaved up to the crown, giving him a high Japanese forehead. His name is Nicola. Nicola, be warned in time, Louka. Mend your manners. I know the mistress. She is so grand that she never dreams that any servant could dare to be disrespectful to her. But if she once suspects that you are defying her, out you go. Louka, I defy her. I do defy her. I will defy her. What do I care for her? Nicola, if you quarrel with the family, I never can marry you. It is the same as if you quarrel with me. Louka, you take her part against me, do you? Nicola, secretly, I shall always be dependent on the goodwill of the family when I leave their service and start a shop in Sofia. Their custom will be half my capital. Their bad word would ruin me.
You see, we know now, Nicola, in fact, plans to have a shop, you see, in the town. And this is why he advises Louka to obey the instructions, to be polite with the members of the family, because the family and the town will know everything, in fact, concerning the relationship and her behaviors with the East. Perhaps they will not come to buy anything from Nicola's shop if they know that Louka is impolite. So he is thinking of himself. You see, he is thinking, this is a quite development. I mean, here Nicola is biased or prejudiced towards the family. See? Yeah.
Huh? You have no spirit. I should like to see them just say a word against me. Nicola, pityingly, I should have expected more sense from you, Louka. But you are young. You are young. Louka, yes. And you like me the better for it, don't you? But I know some family secrets that wouldn't care to have told. Young as I am, they're going to quarrel with me if they do.
You see? Now, she says that I defy the family. I don't obey their orders because I know the secrets of the family. So they cannot quarrel with me. They cannot fire me. They cannot stop me from work with them because I know their secrets. You see, then he will reply, Nicola will reply. He says that I know even many secrets concerning the family, but I don't use or employ these secrets for my sake. You see, so Louka, in fact, tries to utilize, to make use, to exploit the secrets she knows about the members of the family for her sake. See, and this is quite dangerous. And now Nicola advises her to stop this. See? Yeah. Let's just.
Nicola, with compassion and superiority, do you know what they would do if they heard you talk like that? Nicola, what could they do? Nicola, discharge you for untruthfulness. Who would believe any stories you told after that? Who would give you another situation? Who in this house would dare be seen speaking to you ever again? How long would your father be left on his little farm? She impatiently throws away the end of her cigarette and stamps on it. Child, you don't know the power such high people have over the like of you and me when we try to rise out of our poverty against them. He goes close to her and lowers his voice. Look at me. 10 years in their service. Do you think I know no secrets? I know things about the mistress that she wouldn't have the master know for 1,000 livers. I know things about him that she wouldn't let him hear the last of for 6 months if I grabbed them to her. I know things about Raina, and with the break of her match with Sergius,
You see, this is very important. This is very important piece of information concerning the relationship between Sergius on the one hand and Raina on the other. At the beginning, in Act 1, we in fact feel that there is a liaison, a love. You see, relationship started to be developed between the strange soldier and Raina. See, and Raina. Now, Nicola, in fact, says that Raina is going to break her match with Sergius. You see, this is the secret, and this is the development. This is the development in Act 2. And we know, as audiences, as readers, we know the reason. Raina, in fact, feels in love, you see, with the strange soldier, you see. So she will leave her fiancé for this reason. Perhaps there's another reason, that she discovers he is not the same image she has for him in her mind. You see, she portrays a certain image, that he is a hero, that he is a knight, that he is brave, you see. But we listen through the mouth of the strange soldier that her fiancé, whose photograph was near her bedroom, was in fact coward, and he fled the war. So there are two reasons. There are two reasons for Raina to leave her fiancé. You see, this is the secret. Perhaps there is another reason that the strange soldier was brave and was polite, and he behaved like a gentleman with her. He kissed her, he bows to her, he doesn't like to touch her hand without washing her hands first. So there are reasons. Now we are told by Nicola, you see, another development or another piece of information concerning this reason. You see, this is why when Raina, in fact, breaks her relationship with Sergius, we will not blame her. One. Second, we will see Sergius, in fact, we will see Sergius in Act 2. In Act 1, we just listen to his name. We see his photograph, you see, on the table near Raina's bed, you see, and we know also some description concerning his behavior in war coming to us through the strange soldier's mouth, you see. Now we will see Sergius. We will see Sergius is not that faithful man. He will play with Louka. He will flirt with Louka, you see. So there are many reasons for Raina to leave her fiancé Sergius. He was not brave, he coward, he was not faithful to her, you see, and he plays with Louka. And this will come to us, you see. We will see that. We will see that by you see, coming scenes.
Louka, turning on him quickly. How do you know? I never told you. Nicola, opening his eyes cunningly. So that's your little secret, is it? I thought it might be something like that. Well, you take my advice and be respectful and make the mistress feel that no matter what you know or don't know, they can depend on you to hold your tongue and serve the family faithfully. That is what they like. and that is how you will make most of them. Louka was searching the school. You are the soul of a servant, Nicola. Nicola, complacently. Yes, that is the secret of success in service. Allow me.
So glad that you never dreamed that any servant could dare be disrespectful. She once suspected you were defying her. How would you go?
I do defy her. I will defy her. What do I care for her?
If you quarrel with the family, I never can marry you. It's the same as if you quarrel with me.
You take her part against me, do you?
I shall always be dependent upon the goodwill of the family. When I leave their service and start a shop in Sophia, their custom will be half my capital. Their bad word would ruin me.
You have no spirit. I should like to catch them saying a word against me.
I should have expected more sense from you, Louka. But you're young. You're young.
Yes, and you like me the better for it, don't you? But I know some family secrets they wouldn't care to have told, young as I am. Let them quarrel with me if they dare.
Do you know what they'd do if they heard you talk like that?
What could they do?
Discharge you for untruthfulness. Who'd believe any stories you told after that? Who'd give you another situation? Who in this house would dare be seen speaking to you ever again? How long would your father be left on his little farm? Child, you don't know the power such high people have over the like of you and me when we try to rise out of our poverty against them. Look at me. 10 years in their service. Do you think I know no secrets? I know things about the mistress that she wouldn't have the master know for 1,000 labourers. I know things about him that she wouldn't let him hear the last of for 6 months if I brought them to her. I know things about Raina that would break up her match with
How do you know? I never told you.
So that's your little secret, is it? I thought it might be something like that. Well, you take my advice. Be respectful. And make the mistress feel that no matter what you know or don't know, she can depend on you to hold your tongue and serve the family faithfully. That's what they like. And that's how you'll make most out of them.
You have the soul of a servant, Nicola.
Yes. That's the secret of success in service.
Master, back from the war.
My word, Prince Louka, the war's over. Off with you and get some fresh coffee.
You'll never put the soul of a servant into me.
Hey!
Knocking with a candle on a wooden door. Outside on the left is heard. Male voice outside. Hello, hello there, Nicola. Nicola? Master? Back from the war. Nicola, quickly. My word for it. Louka, the war is over. Off with you and get some fresh coffee. He turns out into the stable yard. Louka, see, as he puts the coffee pot and the cups upon the tray and carries it into the house, you never put the soul of a servant into me. Major Petkoff comes from the stable yard, followed by Nicola. He's a cheerful, excitable, insignificant, and...
You see, I want you, in fact, just to listen to the description of the man of the house. Now we see in person, flesh on the blood, Major Petkoff. Earlier, in Act 1, we listened just to his name, you see, record in the house. But we don't see him in person. So there are, I say, there are characters who are off stage. Usually we listen to characters, you see, characters' names, characters' behaviors perhaps, or description off stage. Later we will know them in person. We will see them on stage, coming, behaving, you see, acting, doing whatsoever. So I want you, in fact, just to consider, to differentiate between what is on stage and what is off stage. This is very important, in fact, for us to know and for the development of the character. Yeah, one thing. The other thing, in fact, George Bernard Shaw, again here, as he follows the dictates of naturalism, he describes for us Major Petkoff. We know that he is major. He is major. He is not, by the way, he is not a military man, but he is a bourgeois. He is a well-to-do man. He is very rich, you see, and the army gives him this rank. It is a high rank. A major is not a surgeon, is not a soldier, but he is a major, you see. So he is given this rank, not for his for what he deserves, not for his military behaviors or heroism or whatsoever, you see, but he is for his income and for his importance in local society. This is told by George Bernard Shaw, because he is rich, because of his income, and because of his importance in local society. You see, again,
a Polish man of about 50, naturally an ambitious except as to his income and his importance in local society, but just now directly pleased with the military rank which the war has thrust on him as a man of consequence in his time. The fervor of a plucky patriotism which the Serbian attack roused in all the Bulgarians has pulled him through the war, but he's obviously glad to be home again. Petkoff, pointing to the table with his whip. Breakfast out here, huh? Nicola? Yes, sir. The mistress and Miss Raina have just gone in. Petkoff, sitting down and taking a roll. Go in and say I'll come. Get me some fresh coffee. Nicola? It is coming, sir. He goes to the house door. Louka, with a fresh coffee, a clean cup, and a brandy bottle on her tray, meets her. Have you told the mistress? Louka, yes, she is coming. Nicola goes into the house. Louka brings the coffee to the table. Petkoff, well, the Serbians haven't run away with you, have they? Louka, no, sir. Petkoff, that is right. Have you brought me some cognac? Louka, putting the bottle on the table. Here, sir. Petkoff, that is right. He'll pour some into his coffee. Catherine, who has at this early hour made only a very perfunctory toilette and wears a Bulgarian apron over a once brilliant, but now half-worn out red dressing gown, and a colored handkerchief tied over her thick black hair, with Turkish slippers on her bare feet, comes from the house, looking astonishingly handsome and stately under all the circumstances. Louka goes into the house. Catherine, oh my dear Paul, what a surprise for us. She stoops over the back of his chair to kiss him. Have they brought you fresh coffee? Petkoff, yes. Lucas had been looking after me. The war is over. The treaty was signed 3 days ago at Bucharest, and the decree for our army to demobilize was issued yesterday.
You see, this is in fact a quite development in the play, in the action of the play. Earlier in Act 1, we see that there was war on the borders between the two nations. Now in Act 2, there is development. There is peace. There is peace treaty, you see, signed between the two belligerent parties. And Petkoff was in fact forced to sign that treaty. His wife, in fact, doesn't agree, doesn't like their peace, doesn't like, in fact, to be a treaty between the two parties, and she, in fact, was concerned much about war. But later he will explain for her how he was obliged to sign that treaty. See? Again.
Catherine, springing erect, with flashing eyes. Louka, Paul, have you learned the Australian forced you to make peace? Petkoff, submissively. My dear, they didn't consult me. What could I do? She sits down and turns away from him. But of course, we saw to it that the treaty was an honorable one. It declares peace, Catherine, outright. Peace? Petkoff, appeasing her. But not friendly relations. Remember that. They wanted to put that in, but I insisted on its being struck out. What more could I do? Catherine, you could have annexed Serbia and made Prince Alexander Emperor of the Balkans. That is what I would have done. Because I don't doubt it in the least, my dear. But I should have had to subdue the whole Australian Empire first. And that would have kept me too long away from you. I miss you greatly, Catherine.
You see, he was very happy for the end of the war because he said that he doesn't like to be far away from his family. This is one reason for him to accept peace. But she doesn't like that. She wants, in fact, the town of Serbia, you see, to be annexed, to be added for their country. See, let us listen, in fact, to the same plot or episode from different way. Yeah. Again, listen.
Ah, breakfast out here, eh?
Yes, sir. The mistress and Miss Raina have just gone in.
Well, go in. Say I've come. Bring me some fresh coffee. It's coming, sir.
Have you told mistress yet?
Yes, she's coming.
The servants haven't run away with you, have they?
No, sir.
That's right. Brought me some cognac?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Oh, my dear. What a lovely surprise for us. Have they brought you some fresh coffee?
Louka's been looking after this. Oh, the war's over. The treaty was signed 3 days ago at Bucharest, and the decree for our army to demobilize was issued yesterday.
What?
Hmm.
Have you let the Austrians force you to make peace?
Yes, they didn't consult me. What could I do? Of course, made quite sure that the treaty was an honorable one. It declares peace. Peace! But not friendly relations. Remember that. They wanted to put that in, but I insisted on its being struck out. What more could I do?
You could have annexed Serbia and made Prince Alexander Emperor of the Balkans. That's what I would have done.
I don't doubt that in the least, my dear. But I would have to subdue the whole Austrian Empire first. And that would have kept me away from you. So I've missed you greatly. How have you been?
Oh, my usual sore throat, that's all.
Oh, well, that comes from washing your neck too often. I'm often told results.
Paul.
I don't believe in going too far with these modern customs. All this washing can't be healthy. I mean, it's not natural. There was an Englishman at Philippopolis who used to wet himself all over with cold water every morning when he got up. Disgusting. It all comes to the English. Their climate is so dirty, they have to be perpetually washing themselves. My father never had a bath in his life. Lived to be 98. Healthiest man in Bulgaria. I don't mind a good wash. Once a week to keep up the position, but every day the kind of thing to ridiculous extreme.
Paul, you're a barbarian at heart still.
Now pay attention to the criticism raised by Major Petkoff to the English society. This is not Petkoff, in fact. This is George Bernaccio. So George Bernaccio is accustomed to criticize, to attack, to find faults, you see, or pitfalls in the English society. That is, he uses to satirize, to ridicule the Victorian English society from time to time. And when he has any opportunity in his works, he tries his best, in fact, to criticize. So this is not Petkoff. In fact, this is George Bernaccio, and we can regard Major Petkoff as his mouthpiece.
Relenting. Stretches the hand affectionately across the table to squeeze his. Petkoff, how have you been, my dear? Captain, oh, my usual sore throats, that is all. Petkoff, with conviction. That comes from washing your neck every day. I've been told that you do so. Catherine, nonsense, Paul, Petkoff, over his coffee and cigarette. I don't believe in getting truth. Department of English.
If you have any comments, any question, please raise your hands. Yes? If you want to speak,